Hi VC, this is Kostis, and this is the second part of my recent vinyl finds. The more experimental, let's say, and not that noisy one. So, not a lot of punk rock and stuff like that. Um, so, I'm gonna start out with some, let's say, world music releases, although I don't really like the term world music. I mean, it's like, yeah, doesn't really make sense, but anyway, it's I guess it's a category that we say that we use people in the West to categorize anything that's not coming from the Western world altogether, whatever. So I'll begin with this record, Sabreen, The Death of the Prophet. This is a reissue. It came out in 2020 on Aqui Records. Very nice French label that is putting out really great stuff from the Arabic musical world. Newer stuff and also reissues like this one. This was originally released in 1988. So this is a band that from Palestine. They recorded this during the first Palestinian Intifada, and it's somehow a collection of one could say revolutionary songs about the whole situation back then, and it's also a record that musically it transcends the common Arabic musical forms. Here's the label. Although I should say I'm not really an expert in Arabic music. Well, I listen to Arabic music quite a lot, but I could never say I'm an expert. So it's like, of course, it has the Arabic classical music influence and traditional Palestinian modes and stuff like that. But the whole structure is more like experimental in the sense that it doesn't really follow the traditional song structure, so maybe it's easier for a listener that's not really familiar with Arabian classical music and traditional music to enjoy this. So yeah, Sabreen, The Death of the Prophet. It comes with a very nice booklet that has really nice info on the band, how they came about, and as you can see, here it's a four-piece band. The singer also plays the kanun. This zither-like instrument. It's pretty common in Greece as well. It has a similar name, kanunaki. It's really common in the Middle East. It's quite an ancient instrument. So an upright bass, an oud, and I'm guessing this is bouzuk or bouzouki, like it's called in Greece. Yeah, fantastic record, highly recommended. Another release from a sub-label of Aqui Records, Raina Rai. This is also a reissue. It came out last year, 2022. The band is called Raina Rai, and the record is called Hagda. So this originally came out on cassette in 1982. It's Rai music, as you can see by the name of the band. Rai music is a form of Algerian popular music. Maybe you know of Seb Khaled or Seb Mami. They're, the most famous Rai um, musicians from Algeria. This is more guitar oriented. The guy that plays the lead guitar and also sings, uh, let's say the leader of the band, is called Lofty Attar. This guy here. And he's such a virtuoso on the guitar. You can also hear an influence of desert blues. Yeah, it's just fantastic. It also comes with a nice inner sleeve with some liner notes, very interesting about the recording and the history of the band. And let me show you the labels. Yeah, Elmir Records, a great label. It's actually pretty new, sub-label of Aqui Records. Moving on, staying in the African continent. Oops, little glare right there. So this is Hama, and the name of the record is Houmeissa or something like this. This was out on Sahel Sounds. I know Chris from Red Dog is a fan of the label. This is very interesting because it mixes desert blues and 90s techno music. It's quite weird, I would say. Really, really nice, nicely put tracks by this guy. One of the few, I think, electronic composers and producers from the African continent that I know of. Of course, there will be much more that I don't know of. But yeah, this is fantastic. It's really great. Nice labels right there. But I think there is not much info. Yeah, there's nothing in it. Well, there's some info on the back, but yeah. But if you go to the Bandcamp page, there are some nice liner notes. I wish they included them in the LP release. Whatever, doesn't matter. Really highly recommended. So now something more avant-garde but also folk influenced. This is a composer, a cello player, originally from Guatemala, but I think she is currently living in the Netherlands. At least this album was recorded in the Netherlands. The name of the band is of the artist is Mabe Fratti, and the name of the album is Desde, Aqui, something like this. It's out on Unheard Hope, a label I'm not really familiar with. This comes in a very nice gatefold. Yeah. And this is what the labels look like. And it's blue vinyl. So yeah, this is a hybrid of folk music and avant-garde, free jazz, free improvisation. I mean, the songs are structured, but there are passages which have experimental electronics, free jazz playing by the band that accompanies Mabe Fratti. Yeah, it's really great actually. Her voice is very melodic, and it actually works as both anchoring the songs around the whole experimental stuff. So it's actually songs, not just improvisations. Uh, um, but it also works as an instrument. Uh, uh, so yeah, it's a really nice record. Highly recommended if you enjoy either folk music or more experimental improvised stuff. Okay, now some purely electronic stuff. This is the first album by the Berlin-based um, composer Maya Shenfeld. It's her debut album in free fall. It was out on Thrill Jockey, one of my favorite releases of 2022. So this is more ambient stuff. Some influences by the Berlin school of the 70s. You could also hear influences of Christian Fennesz, the great experimental electronic composer from Austria that is still putting out records, but I think his better stuff came out in the 90s and zeros. Yeah, really great. Just plain black vinyl. Another electronic release. This is Dame Area. This is a duo from Barcelona. I think I've showed an EP in one of my first videos. This is their latest record. It also came out in late 2022, but I think it was released in 2023. It came out on vinyl. This is a co-release by Maya Roja, great experimental electronics label from Barcelona, and BFE Records. I think it's also a label from Barcelona. So yeah, this is more synth wavy, more industrial tribal stuff, EBM even. At least their previous records were more tribal and EBM oriented. This is more synth wavy. This is a duo. They play percussion and electronics, and the girl sings in Italian. Maybe she's Italian. I'm not really sure. It's really cool. This is what the labels look like. Totally recommended. I think Jason Skills will like this one for sure, if he doesn't know about the Dame Area already. Oh yeah, and yeah, the record is called Toda la Mentira Sobre Dame Area. So probably, yeah, I'm not sure. Toda la this is the lies about Dame Area or something like this. Mentira is lies. I don't know. Sorry, I should have looked it up. And last but not least, another release from Spain, but this is more folky. This is Pablo and Destruktion. This is a guy from Madrid, if I'm not mistaken. The name of the album is Futuros Valores, Future Values. It came out on a great label Humo Internacional in 2020. Actually, Pablo released another record last year. I haven't really listened to it properly, but this one is extremely nice. It's like a modern attempt to play the style of music that was called Nueva Canción in the 70s and 80s. This was a movement, political, musical movement, pro-democracy movement that was around in the 70s and 80s, like I said, in the Spanish-speaking world, especially in the Iberian Peninsula, Spain, Portugal, and also Latin countries of the Latin America, where there were many dictatorships at that point. This is not that anthemic as those earlier Nueva Canción stuff were. A little less pompous, more introverted, but it's more modern. A little bit more experimental, especially side 2. It's more like post-punky maybe, but it has some really nice haunting songs right there, great lyrics, and yeah, let me show you the labels. It also has this nice inner sleeve, no, insert actually, with all the lyrics. So yeah, I think I will stop right here. There are some other stuff, but maybe I'll show them in another video, because it's already 17 minutes long. So I hope you enjoyed. I will try to leave links to the bands in the description. Bye bye.